Line Pride about to move up, about 8 or 9 more to move in. Ring Cycle, Shadow Boxer moving up. Line Pride out behind the gate. El Catiro, the big fella. Old Swampy has a great record at this track. 8 starts, 6 wins. He's yet to taste defeat at the track and distance. The big fella who's been a great racehorse here in Darwin, having had 11 career wins, 10 of those on this track and 5 at this track and distance. Started his career, I think, back in 1997. Now the big fella coming up, Redan, the former Sydney sider, formerly with the Kim Moore yard. Moving forward, Shadow Boxer to come up. Waiting on El Catiro, there's 2 out. Shadow Boxer moving in. As Jeff joins us, thank you very much, Jeff. A big day of racing, we're just about ready. This is the target handicap, and Old Swampy runs the favourite. Pelt stands up well. They look to have all moved in. Just waiting for the light to be switched on. Big crowd, glorious day for racing. And the big one, the Cup, the CUB Cup to follow. This is the target handicap. $2.80 for Old Swampy. The starter is on his platform. We stand by for the light. It's about to be switched on. One of the attendants just going around front. Lovely breeze coming across the track. In fact, that's attendants right out the front. There may have been a drop whip or something of that nature. He's making his way back around behind the line. El Catiro stands well. Just waiting for the light to be switched on. They're ready to jump. Starter holds up. Favourite Old Swampy, drawn gate 2. He stands well. Pelt right up to the gate. Shadow Boxer, Ring Cycle, well behaved. The starter holds up. Now the lights are on. Gates are back. Old Swampy broke with them in gate number 2. Redan straight out the back door. Line Pride, Ring Cycle, Shadow Boxer, El Catiro all fast away. Cypress Lakes is burning up on the inside. It's Cypress Lakes whizzing through to join Ring Cycle in the front. Old Swampy goes to 3rd. They were followed by Silent Majority, Line Pride, El Catiro right off the track around the grey. Shadow Boxer, one away, Jeremiah Bullfrog. Then came Pelt being run off his legs. The big fellas got back in the race. They were followed by Le Saint and 10 lengths away. Redan coming off the back, and Cypress Lakes the front runner, led by 2. Old Swampy's in a beautiful position, poised to strike 2nd. A neck away, Ring Cycle, 1.5 further back in the race is Old. As they come to the bend, Line Pride, they were followed by Silent Majority on the inside. Making ground, Jeremiah Bullfrog, losing its spot, El Catiro. It's being fast passed by Shadow Boxer as they come to the bend from Le Saint. Then near the tail of the field as they turn, Redan and the big fellas a long way back and pull to the outside. Old Swampy on the fence, drove up now to challenge the leader, Ring Cycle. Here comes Chris Muntz on Line Pride, letting down. He's coming with a good run. They're at the 200-metre mark. Line Pride going after Old Swampy. Old Swampy taken on by Line Pride with 50 to run. Line Pride put his nose in front, and Chris will get him home. Line Pride has beaten Old Swampy. Flying Jeremiah Bullfrog, he ran 3rd. They were followed just in behind those by Ring Cycle, pulling up quickly with Silent Majority. Le Saint finished just in front of that pair. Then Shadow Boxer, the big fella, wider out from El Catiro Pelt. They were followed by Redan, and one of the last ones to pull up was the early leader, Cypress Lakes. Number 8, Line Pride, will be the winner. Ridden by Chris Muntz for Graham Rogerson. Number 8, travelled wide most of the way, went out after the favourite Old Swampy, who got a beautiful run through to dash to the front. And then it was left to Line Pride to come out after Old Swampy with about 200 metres left to run. And Line Pride has finished too well for Old Swampy. The time for the race, 1:15.17. 1:15.17, the track record to the big fella at 1:14.09. They're outside of that at 1:15.17. The winner, Line Pride, who went through the sales on Sunday for $29,000. Prepared by Graham Rogerson and ridden by Golden Slipper and Melbourne Cup winning jockey Chris Muntz. Old Swampy, Tim Norton has run 2nd and 3rd prize in the race. We stand by for that number to go up. It'll go to Jeremiah Bullfrog, number 13, who's come from well back in Le Saint, who's made up a lot of ground on the inside to finish in 4th spot. Officially, it's 8-2-13, 8-2 and 13. The time 1:15.17. Line Pride is by the former brilliant sprinter, Line Hunter, a 4-year-old grey gelding by Line Hunter at a Battle Day, a Coronation Day mare, prepared by Graham Rogerson and ridden by Chris Muntz, winning by a half length with a margin of 2 1/4 between second and third. Here's the winner coming back. Give him a big round of applause. Chris Muntz with Line Pride.
Okay, thanks Terry, and a big win there to Chris Muntz aboard Lion Pride, 570, 220, Old Swampy 160, Jeremiah Bullfrog 440, Trifecta $268. As you saw on your screen, there is a protest on the last event from Mackay. It's second against first, alleged interference from the home turn down the straight. 6, 13 and 8. And silly mistakes jockey G. Michael is protesting against the winner, number 6, I'm a Baron. Now, first of our races for coverage from Nowra this afternoon. Due in around 3, Darwin that's caught my eye. There he is. There's your girls. Just don't run to the screen all at once. There he is, the new sex symbol of Darwin. He drinks, he smokes, and we can't show you any more of that. We don't want to say anything detrimental to him and his beard and his wig and anything else about what he does. He's very, very bad habits, and yeah. 5th event from Terralgan, VB McGee at $6.90, Lagos.
Well, a Darwin Cup Carnival wouldn't be the same without Neil Payne, who's been coming here for how many years?
Oh, a few years now. I think this is my second year running since my fall, and I come up in the early 1990s before I went to Asia.
And how are the wrists? They're okay?
Yes, you know, like they're never going to be 100%, but, you know, so far so good.
Well, it certainly didn't stop you winning the invitation on Mossy.
Yeah, no, that was a great thrill for me to win the invitation. You know, there was a lot of good jockeys in it, naturally, you know, being an invitation race from Sydney and, you know, Melbourne, Adelaide and the local jockeys. So, yeah, it was a great thrill to win that.
Now, the more important things, Brave Decision won the Cup last year. Can you make it 2 in a row?
Well, hopefully I can. His last one was a little bit disappointing. We just don't know what happened. I didn't ride it that day because I was suspended. But on face value, his last one was disappointing. Just let's hope he's recovered from that run. And, you know, if he's anywhere near right, you know, half right like he was last year, he can beat this field easily. But the question mark is, you know, is he back near right? You know, let's hope so. I think he's close to it. So we're hoping, mate.
Good on you, Neil. Well, we hope it can win too, because I want to see that cellar filled up again.
Oh, that'll be a bottler if I can fill that. Actually, last year, Wolfie was brilliant. He flew me down to the Barossa Valley for a week, and we had a great time and went round, and he done what he said. He filled me cellar up, which was beautiful.
Good on you, Neil, and good luck on Brave Decision.
Good on you. Thanks, Rod.
That's Neil Payne. He's riding the Wolf Blass-owned Brave Decision, hunting for 2 consecutive Darwin Cups.
Terrific, Rod. Thank you. The event due in 15 minutes from now. To Be Fair at 10, to Coveney 7.30, Wild Heart at $5.60, down to 6 Solario 6.30, Son of Grace at $15. To number 8, The Spunk at 28, and Jilpy, number 9, is at $5.20. Brave Decision $6.90. Young Dale Coffee gets the ride on number 5, Brass, in the big one, and in fact is one of the very good chances. And Dale now with Rod Gallegos.
Coming up now to the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup. One of the riders in the race is Dale Coffey, who rides Brass. Now, Dale, you rode the winner of the Palmerston Sprint, To Be Fair, and you've switched mounts.
No, well, Thompson is always going to ride To Be Fair, but I was fortunate enough to get the ride on him in the sprint, and we've won it, so that was good. I'm on Brass in the Cup. I rode him 2 starts before. He's a Queensland horse. He sort of didn't get his legs under him, but he won last Wednesday, so we're hopeful today, yep.
Yeah, well, they always say most journalists are useless, but here's one that's made good, because Terry Butts used to be a journalist, or still does write a bit, and now he's training horses.
Yep, yeah. I don't think Terry's here today, actually, so I think he's only watching it, so I'll give him my best shot, Terry.
Well, I'm sure he expects that, Dale. Dale, tell us about To Be Fair. Do you think it can make the jump to the Cup?
I think so. Talking to Graham Rogerson, he has won in Sydney over the trip. They'll have to ride him different, so yeah, I'd say they just sit back on him today and just let him roll, and He's a pretty good horse, this, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he doesn't win it.
All right, Dale. Well, anyway, good luck on Brast. Hope it can win for you and Terry Butts.
Thank you very much, Rod.
Good on
Thanks,
you.
mate.
Dale Coffey, he rides Brast in the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup, and I'll tell you something, if it wins, Terry Butts will be drinking plenty of the product.
And he's also with the CUB colours too, the very jazzy red with the yellow horses on the front and CUB all down the sleeves. Favourite way, it's a wide market. To Be Fair, number 1 at 10. Duchovny $7.40, Wild Heart at $5.80, 6 Solario at $6.10, Son of Grace at $15, The Spunk at $30, Jilpy at $5.40, and 11 Brave Decision $6.80. Chris Muntz getting up on previous winner Lion Pride, and he takes the ride on Wild Heart. Gary Clark is the rider of Son of Grace. Son of Grace has run second its last 2. Can it go one better today? Gary a short time ago linked up with Rod Gallegos.
Well, a man who's tasted success in the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup is Gary Clark, who joins me. And this year you're riding Son of Grace.
Yeah, Rod, I've ridden him 3 starts so far up here since he's come here for the carnival. He's run 4th the first day on the Chief Ministers, and then he's ran 2 nice seconds since that, and he ran 2nd in the metric mile the other day. He's never been beyond a mile, but you don't really know until you try him. So if he runs at 2,000 metres, he'll keep him pretty honest, I think.
Tell me, Gary, is it a tough 2,000 metres?
It is a tough 2,000. It's always a tough 2,000 here because they don't usually get much of a rest through the race. They have to be able to run a pretty good solid 2,000 metres, you know. So it's weak horses can't usually win a 2,000 metre the Cup race here, you know. They have to be pretty tough.
Now, in a race like the Cup, where would you start to take off?
As a rule, each year they usually start to pick the pace up from about the 700, and from there on, that's where the pace picks up, and it sort of just increases from there, you know.
All right. Well, Gary, good luck this year. You said you haven't had many rides in the Cup.
No, I only ever had the 2. I'm sort of a bit restricted with my weight. I can only ride the top weights, and they're usually the better horses in the race, so it's a bit hard to get on top of them sometimes.
Well, good luck, and we hope Son of Grace does the right thing by you.
Thanks, Rob. So do I.
Good on you. Gary Clark there, who's riding in the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup, and he's on Son of Grace.
Okay, Rod, and Jilpy just going onto the track now. So the Darwin Cup due in around 5 minutes from now before a huge crowd. Not quite as big a crowd at Traralgon, but they love their race.
This is the big one of the afternoon. It's the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup. It's going to be a spirited betting event, and what does Craig Sant fancy?
I think Graham Rogerson can make it the double. I think he can do the Palmerston Cup double with number 3 Wild Heart. Last start second in the Derby was a good run. 3 runs here in Darwin have been okay. He's getting better, and I think today's the day. I think he's been set for this assignment. From number 9 Jilpy, the Derby winner, great little horse from Alice Springs. He's just keeps on improving with racing. He looks the testing material, so the 2 4-year-olds I've put on top. And for 3rd, number 6 Solario from the Nev Connor stable. He's had the right preparation. He's really worked up through the grades nicely and has been racing over a bit of ground. He looks the other danger on paper. Plenty of hope, so Rod. They look a picture in the yard, but in the end I like 3 on top from 9 and 6.
Good on you, Craig, and thanks for your help during the day.
No worries, Rod.
Craig Sant there, he's the caller at Alice Springs, knows the form backwards. Hopefully he can tip you into a winner in the final race today, the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup.
Okay, thanks, Rod, and thanks to Craig Sant, former Sydney boy, and he's done very well since going to the Northern Territory. About to be called up for the last event from Darwin. Number 9, Jilpy, a last winner 2 weeks ago over Wild Heart, a horse that's won 4 from 11 with 4 minor placings. Horse 3, Wild Heart, coming off a second in that event 2 weeks ago behind Jilpy. Horse 6 at $6.10, Solario, a last winner over Brave Decision, and 11 Brave Decision, a very consistent horse at $6.70. First 4 on the previous narrow, 3, 1, 7 and 6, $331.10, $331.10. It is all clear now on the previous at Traralgon. Placings of 5, 1, 4, time 29.93. 29.93, 5147 for the first 4 and all clear. First 4 details for you in just a moment. That time on the 5th at narrow was 37 and 83. That time 29.63 at Traralgon, 29 and 63. Amiga Carter, 470, 160. King Newfire, 230. Settlers Way, no third. Trifecta, $205. We're 6 minutes off a start race 7, Pinjarra Park, and 5, Bodine's Destiny at $7.70. In the card, 6.90. 8, Crimson Lake at $4.70. Over to number 10, Remember May. It's at $5.60, and 12, Classy and Smart at $3.60. C2 and up over 16.70. Selections from John. He goes 10, Remember May, to beat 12, 6 and 8. For the big one of the day from Darwin, the running of the 2003 Darwin Cup, we head now to mixed doubles.
To Be Fair is ready. Jilpy about to join the line with Solario. Vitelli still away with Wild Heart, The Spunk Brast and Son of Grace. And Solario is ready. Son of Grace about to link in. Jilpy, $5.50, $5.80 Wild Heart, $5.90 Solario, $6.60 Brave Decision, $7.80 Duchovny, $10.20 To Be Fair. Line taking good shape for the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup. Vitelli still away as Son of Grace gets ready. Brast wearing the sponsor's colours. The Spunk still out behind the line with Wild Heart, Vitelli and Brast. A couple of attendants attempting to straighten him up and move him in, and they have done that. So he's locked away, Brast. Wild Heart out behind the line with the Spunk, and Vitelli, the Spunk coming up. Wild Heart about to join them. Runner-up in the Derby behind Jilpy. Wild Heart has moved in, and Vitelli has joined the line, so they're all in under the starters' control for the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup. Down to the judge, 1 lap of the track, and they'll go helter-skelter early, bustle for positions. Solario fractious. El Quabo a little towy. Brave Decision stands well, racing. Brave Decision, El Quabo got out well. Son of Grace is going very quickly early, and so is To Be Fair, and the Spunk out deep on the track is driving forward as they go past the judge on the first occasion, and Son of Grace upsides with To Be Fair. The Spunk a half length away out 3 deep trying to get across, and they're really motoring as they go by the 1600. El Quabo just behind them on the inside of Indian Ridge, and further out on the track Brast, 1.5 lengths. Brave Decision being ridden back in the field, 2.5 lengths away to Jilpy, 1.5 lengths to Solario, then Duchovny. Wild Heart the outside moving forward but deep, and Vitelli is last as they run into the back and go up by the 1300, and the Spunk took control, raced away by 2.5 lengths to Son of Grace. 3/4 of a length To Be Fair, and a lovely posse third the inside, then Indian Ridge. Brast is out 3 deep. El Quabo is just behind them. Brave Decision going forward but wide, 2.5 lengths to Wild Heart. 1.5 lengths to Jilpy. Solario sneaking through along the inside of him. Then 2 lengths away Duchovny and Vitelli. The rails are the last pair coming to the 800, and it's the Spunk holding down Pride of Place. 3/4 of a length Son of Grace. Brast moving up the outside. To Be Fair perfectly posseed the rails. There goes Brave Decision starting to make a run a long way from home. 2 lengths to Wild Heart. He's starting to motor into it too. El Quabo looks to be struggling a bit. Jilpy to the outside. Denton's getting inside runs on Solario, and he's coming quickly. He's about 5 off the lead. A long way back Duchovny, then Vitelli, and Indian Ridge dropped to last. It's the Spunk still in front at the 300. Son of Grace trying to pick him up. Brast has had enough. Wild Heart coming down the outside, and so is Jilpy, and Solario's getting up along the rails down by the 200. The Spunk in front. Wild Heart and Jilpy running home well with Solario back along the inside. Wild Heart reached the lead in the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup, and he's home. Wild Heart by 1.5 lengths over the Spunk. Jilpy out wide got third, close for fourth, either Son of Grace or Solario, which had every hope. Break of 6 or 7 lengths. Vitelli, Brast, El Quabo, Brave Decision did nothing, either did Duchovny, and last home was Indian Ridge in the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup of 2003. Wild Heart has come with a powerful burst and has been too solid in the last couple of 100 metres. And Chris Muntz has won the last 2 races on the card. He's come very quickly, I'd say, from about the 700-metre point. He took off, went around them, put himself in the race. The spunk was giving a hell of a sight, leading them up in the run down the home stretch. But Wild Heart has come too quickly for him. Gilpy made good ground late in the race. Solario was getting rails runs down the side of the track, and he looked to be working into it very nicely, but he didn't quite finish the race off all that well. To be fair, beautifully positioned by Robert Thompson, had every chance. Didn't complete the 2,000 metres, in my opinion. Duke Coveney always well back. His interrupted preparation has told the tale with him, and the same for Brave Decision, who normally is right up on the speed. He tried to get there at some stage down the side of the track inside the 600, but he just wasn't up to it today. Number 3, Wild Heart, a 4-year-old grey gelding by Unbridled Song out of Blushing Rose, owned by G.A. Rogerson, J.F. Woodward and P.C.N. Chan, trained by Graham Rogerson at Randwick in New South Wales.
That man, G.A. Rogerson, and a double to Chris Munns. He took the 8th event with Lion Pride, also for Graham, and the last event with Wild Heart. So Wild Heart takes out the Cup of 2003. You'll call them mixed stumbles. Being called up for the Wild Heart, Chris Munns 580 and 220 over the Spunk, and Gilpy for third trifecta $1,291. Wild Heart takes out the Darwin Cup of 2003 for Chris Munns and Graham Rogerson. Back with Dale Walker in the next at Nowra.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Graham, you had a couple of runners in it. Which one did you give the best chance to?
We bought him in the Calcutta, Wild Heart.
Well, that must have been the tip.
Yeah, we thought he'd win. I saved on To Be Fair. They went a bit hard for the first 600, but this horse was going to win a long way from home. Any lucky to win the Triple Crown, but that's racing up here.
And has the horse been sold here, Wild Heart?
I bought him.
And any plans?
Yeah, I'm going to take him down to Melbourne. I think this is a very, very good horse. We brought him up here, set him for the Derby and the Cup. Had a few little problems, but what a great carnival. I mean, this is the people's carnival, you know, not the horses.
You obviously will come back.
Oh, yeah. Well, I kept the share in Lion Pride. Kenny's got him, and the top end, we've had a great time, you know. So, you know, you can only say thank you, top end.
And, well, you've won a double today. Chris Munns on both of them.
Yeah, he'd been driving me for a month to ride the horses up here.
Oh, someone just jumped the fence. Graham, what sort of races in Melbourne?
We'll have a look, mate. I think he's a group horse, you know. I think he'll win a nice big race, whether it's this carnival in the spring, but he's heading to Melbourne, and we'll give him a little break and we'll just see what happens.
Anyway, big step, Darwin to Melbourne.
Oh, well, I think he's... Well, he won that 100 grand race at Flemington. He ran third in the Amy Vars. He ran fourth to Klingaling in a group race. So I think he's a little bit better than these horses.
All right, again, congratulations on your Darwin Cup win, your first visit here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Graham.
Interesting comments there from Graham Rogerson. We might be seeing Wild Heart in the spring in Melbourne, and there was a fall not so long during that interview. Very interesting too, and we might go back and relive the memory of that. And a short time ago, Rod Gallegos was able to link up with the winning jockey Chris Munns, and we'll have that for you in just a moment. That first four on the previous event from Nowra, placings 3, 6, 7 and 1, $1,071. $1,071 after the previous event from Nowra. Next event from Tyrone.
Chrissy, congratulations.
Thanks, Rod. Yeah, it was great, mate. Terrific.
Did you always think you were going to win?
Yeah, I knew there was a lot of speed on it, and I actually sort of intended to get back a bit like that early on, so everything worked out tremendous. I got a good card into the race behind Neil Payne, and probably from about the 700 on, he just took me up into the race beautifully.
Nice little double today.
Yeah, it took a long while to come, Rod, but it's been worthwhile, mate.
All right, congratulations.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Chris Munns there, the rider of the winning Darwin Cup horse, which was Wild Heart. That is pretty wild down here.
I bet it is. Good on you, Rod. And presentation about to take place to the connections of Wild Heart taking out the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup. And they will be partying all the way through the night. And well done. A terrific success to the Darwin Jockey Club. Now, here's David with Rod Gallegos.
Well, it's been another highly successful Darwin Cup day. With me is the Chief Executive of the Darwin Turf Club, David Aldred, and it's your farewell.
It's a farewell, mate. My last Darwin Cup Carnival as CEO. I'm off to Tassie at the end of this week, so I'll be down in Tasmania this time next year. Or I might be back here as the Darwin Cup on a bit of a junket as a guest, I hope.
Well, you certainly hope so. Take your winter woolies with you to Tasmania. How's the day been?
Oh, it's been a terrific day. The staff are still tallying up the numbers, but it's been looking good. We reckon we're going to get fairly close to last year, which was a record 26,000. So that's not a bad effort to get that many people here in Darwin, considering the population's only about 100,000 people.
That's absolutely magnificent. And the betting turnover's been good?
Yeah, we're looking for about 2.6 million in betting turnover, which is about what we had last year. So we know we've done right when we've achieved that result. Of course, the Darwin Cup is the main event, and we've just got to crunch down the figures on what we get on the Darwin Cup, of course, but a fantastic turnover.
Well, David, thanks again for your hospitality. It's always great to be here, and good luck in Tasmania.
Thanks, Rod. It's the best event in the north, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you. David Aldred there, the Chief Executive of the Darwin Turf Club, and that wraps up our coverage of the Carlton Draft Darwin Cup Carnival. My thanks to Jodie Cutler, the director, Simon Warren, Adam Epstein, who looked after me, Dave and Rob, the cameraman, and Max, who's looked after all of my needs throughout the day. The only thing he didn't do was supply me with money to bet with. However, hope you've enjoyed it, because this is the place to be in the winter, a nice tidy 33 degrees. Thanks for your company.
We sit here in envy. Thanks very much, Rod Gallegos. Terrific job. To Jodie Cutler and the team, a job well done. Actually, I was just having a look at Graham Rogerson at the presentation ceremony. He's very animated, really. He's, I think he's got the crowd. He's been talking for the last, 5 minutes, and very animated. And I think he's done everything bar get the crowd up singing Happy Birthday. We might take a little bit of this presentation.
He's done with Wild Heart. I'd like to thank my stables in New Zealand who had this horse in New Zealand, Stephen Ortridge. He sent him to my Melbourne stable. Keith Horton done a good job of him. He won a 100 grand race with him as a 3-year-old in the spring, and he was placed in the Amy Vase. And my Sydney stable, Mark Fraser Campen down there, I'd like to thank him for what a good job when he had him in Sydney and he got him ready to come up here. I would like to thank Lindsay Lane, your local Stipe Henry steward. I'm not going to thank him for not relegating me in the derby, but for the little things that he done, because when you're a big organisation like us, we want more sand, we want more fans, we want more stuff to spray for the mosquitoes. I'd never heard of mosquitoes till I come here. But by gee, in the last 2 weeks, our horses have really changed. I'd like to thank this committee here at the Darwin Turf Club. By gee, they put on a good show.
Graham, unfortunately, we have to leave it there. I'd like to stay, but we've got a narrow race. But I'm sure you'll probably be still talking by the time the race is over. Of the Darwin. No, there he is.
Win 2 goes to Tommy Pike and Karen, and I'd like to thank you very much. And I did buy a horse and sharing a horse with Tommy yesterday from our sale, so I will be an owner here in the Northern Territory. But I won't speak no more. The 14 must be my lucky barrier. I drew 14 in the Golden Slipper, and when I drew 14 the other day, I said, bugger it, I've done it again. But I'll tell you, I'd just like to say, have a great night. With